It's Friday. Say that low because the mic made me scared. It's Friday. Today is Friday. I just had to remind myself it's Friday. It looks like a flour mill, I know, but I've been inside the door trying to make the body gaps right. So I'm going to explain to you what I have done. Yesterday, I put a bunch of mud in the body gap. This morning when I come out, it looked good, but when I got going, I realized that I had to fill both sides of the door before I do the body gap. And that means I had to do the top of the door and the post of the door and the back of the door and all that stuff before I could really find a true read of the body gap. So what I did is I come out here this morning and I've held the door like that with that piece of wood, and I put filler all the top of the door, down the post, inside around the window. I didn't do it on the bottom yet because it's not off the car. I'll wait till it's off the car. All around the hinge here, I did all the bodywork around the door latch, around there, around the back, and around the top. Everywhere I put mud on it, I made sure that I sand it down to the ocean floor. And that's metal. As soon as I started hitting metal, I hit metal on the top of the door here, metal on top of the door here, metal on top of the door there, metal there. Whenever I hit metal, when I was flushing it off with fill, you have to keep in mind that this car never existed until we made it. So this door is a handmade door, and I've welded it all the way around on both sides, cut this out, weld this all the way around here, welded it all on the bottom both sides, all up the back post, made an inner construction for it. So it's a handmade door, and what I'm doing right now is trying to make it fit this handmade car. When I put the door on, I set it out as far as I could, and I used a 3/16 gap to gap the door. So now that I have the filter on the top of the door, when I put the door back, when I shut the door again, I couldn't shut the door. I had to cut this way back and then until I hit metal again, whereas the exact same thing what I did before. As I shut the door, I cannot get that back in there because that's my filler. I cannot get that back in there, that's my filler. But I will try to take it down a little bit more because I have to go to another grit. This is 40 grit. Now I have to go to another grit. I got a little bit of the ocean floor showing, which is metal all the way around. I got metal showing there, metal showing there, metal showing there, metal showing there. So what I'm doing is I'm going down as far as it's got to go and giving it only what it needs. All the way around. So I've got the back pretty well licked. I've got the top gum pretty good, and I've got down the front gumming and inside the door done. As I get going, I still want to take a little bit more off the body gap. I still want to take a little more off because I got the guy named Primer coming, and I got a guy named Paint coming, and I got a guy named maybe Clear Coat coming if we clear coat this car. And everything that we add to this car will cause depth. So that's exactly what it'll cause. It'll cause depth. You can see at the bottom of the door, the gap is a little bit different. And the reason the bottom of the door gap is different, because I have not filled out the welds on the bottom of the door yet. Come to this side. So we're only putting in the car what it needs, and that means every time we sand filler, you go to the metal. But when you see it, you have to stop. As we see on this side, I open the door. I'm just starting this side. I've got the top of the door filled out here, starting to. I've got metal showing here. I've got metal showing there, I got metal showing there, a little metal showing there, a little metal showing here. I've got no metal or no filler over here. Now watch what happens. I can almost get that down in there. You know what I'm saying? So once I get my filler in there and make my body gap the way we want to, we'll be right on the money. I apologize that sometimes the truth gets to people. When I'm putting that mud on that car, that product is needed to make what you want, to where you're going. If you do not put the product on the car, you will spend half your time running back and forth the bench mixing mud. I do not do that. I'm going to come in here tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to mud the inside of that door out. And what I mean by mud the inside of the door, I have to go all the way around the window, all down the back post, all on the top, all on the front post, all on the bottom, all on the inside where I've welded it. And then I have to sand it off. And if it doesn't look good, you do it again. But when you do it again, it's always to that point of the ocean, to the sea floor. You always go to the metal every time. It does not matter how many times you sand it off, you're always going to that point. It just matters if you're taking it off right to make it work where it needs to be used. I wish that I would have the doors done, or I might try to finish the doors today. We're going down to Doug's place tomorrow, which is Saturday. We're going down to check out Jolene's engine, maybe. She's looking at buying a Jaguar engine for this. It's her car, and I feel like she should put the engine in it that she wants. I was going to dump a Jeep motor in it, but I guess that's not what she wants, so we're going to do it as she wants. We're just going to keep cruising on this one. We'll go back and forth on the Plymouth a little bit here and there. I've got to get Jolene to do some more welding on that. I'm going to get this is the plan on the 40. I'm going to get her to weld that along there and weld along the back fender. I'm going to weld it along the sill or the quarter in the back. We're going to weld that shot. And then when I replace the bottom of the door, then we'll bring the door skin up a little bit, and then we'll give it a little gap that way. And the reason being, when I look at it, why would this not be welded to the quarter when it's welded to the fender? I want to finish it. I want to continue welding right around there, and then we'll just shorten the door skin up when we do it. When we put the door skin on, we'll make sure that we do it when it's on the car with the sill, and then we can put it up a little bit wherever we want it. And that's pretty well what's going on. All the fill on the floor is the fill that I've sanded off. I do not mind. This is what I do not mind. I do not mind coming in and throwing a bunch of fill on the car because I know where I'm going. I'm going to bare metal. And also, I like it because when I throw a bunch of material on, I can do a bunch of work. If you do not throw the material, if you do not throw the material on the car, you cannot do the work. And this is how I get it done so quick. I do not work a lot during the day on these cars. I'm trying to do a process with the YouTube thing. But for me to work every day, I bust them 2 doors out in one day by myself. But I like to get a lot of material on because I know exactly where I'm going with it. When I use the body fill like that, I'm all right with that because the fill is $20 and the polyester putty is $50, $60, and you don't get quarter as much. Or you do get quarter as much. It's probably a quarter of a can compared to body filler. And I do not mind using it because I can use it just as well as I can polyester putty. It's cheaper, and I don't mind using it. It does the job because I know in my own brain I'm only going to one point where the metal is. It's always got to go to that area. So it cannot have more than it needs. All welds must be flushed out. If your welding car's up and you're painting welds, please post it. I want to see it. Please post it. I want to see it. When you're showing me that you'll paint bare metal that you have welded, I want to see it. Please, God, show me the metal. Anyways, it's a good Friday. I'm happy. Jolene's looking good. She's always looking good. She's excited to go look at her engine, I think. It looked nice when he showed us the picture of it. Very nice. Had a couple visitors this morning. Took my time, but I didn't mind giving my time because he was a very nice man. He's a very nice man. Alrighty, have a good Friday, and I'll show you what I'm going to do next. I'm going to keep mudding and mudding and mudding. I'm going to pour the mud to this, but remember, I'm going to always sand it to the metal. Always. I cannot weld these doors up and not put mud on the edge of the doors when I've welded them. I've grounded them and I've welded them. I want to cover the welds. I have to. If you paint welds, show me, please. Alrighty. Have a good one, everybody. We're going to have a good one. We'll show you tomorrow. Show was good last night. Got the Pinto done. That thing's badass. Thanks for all the good comments. Thanks for all the bad comments. And keep them coming.